It's me. What up?
Eight seconds. 12 seconds.
Oh, I forgot the blindfold. Is bro using Switch to gain more palaces? I am. What's up? H-Perm, the Cuber dude, Zach. Thinking of going for Gnar 2 in Big Blind. So specifically just going for beating me, basically. Oh wait, no, that would be beating Elliot too. Well, not NR2, but Gnar 2. That's like 240 or something. Dude, it is hot in my room today. Oops, what am I doing?
8 seconds.
Dang it. It was 9 to 8 in shit cases, and then I did 2 extra. Gonna be organizing something like New York Multimate PBQs, but focusing on Big Blind. Nice. Where would that be? Oh, Central NY. Top 5 Gnar. What's top 5 Gnar? It's like, is that even sub 4? Stanley, Elliot, me. Is it just Tommy after me? And he has like a 330 or something? I don't remember. Oops.
8 seconds.
Dude, Jesus. That was 8 Alex, but I like paused. Oh, Kale, I forgot about Kale. That was 8 Alex, and like, possibly like the worst 8 Algar I've literally ever had. Like, every case sucked. And then I paused. Thanks, Cubic. Yeah, I think 352 is definitely not very hard if you're just dedicated. What would Memo be like for sub 6 5 blind? I don't know, it can vary so much. There's people who get sub 6 5 blind who do like sub 2 Memo, and there's people who do sub 6 5 blind with like 4 Memo, so I don't know, it's totally varies.
Eight seconds. seconds.
God, it's 12 to 11. Thanks, GeoCuber. What's up, Speedy? Cucked by Stanley living in the US.
Eight seconds.
Dude, I'm getting garbage scrambles. So I made 66 rooms, or no, 60 rooms. In Mario Odyssey this morning. It took me like hours. I'm like really picky about it, but I was like really surprised just how much fits into each area. Like I did like 24 rooms in just like the Sand Kingdom and 24 rooms just in the Wooded Kingdom. So I can probably get 72 rooms out of like the first half of the game. It's crazy. I'll start practicing with those tomorrow probably. I think it should be good luck with the solves. Good luck on the solves sounds totally fine to me. If you're trying to be like super picky about grammar, good luck with the solves might be like technically correct. Taken by the fact that Easter's 420. Yeah, I was trying to think if like I can ever remember that happening anytime recently. Dude, I've had so many 5L corners, like unfloatable 5L corners.
12 seconds.
Well, over inspected anyways. What do you mean by made? Like how? I don't even know what you're referring to. Like made rooms? I just like wrote down what my rooms would be. That's what I mean. I might have twisted a corner in this scramble. Oh no, I didn't.
8 seconds.
Dude. Wow, I fixed a mechanical twist. And I did 3 extra comms. 5L that you can't LTCT is a special corner of hell. Yeah, it's funny because for a while I was feeling like T2C is like very rarely helpful probably. But all of those, that was like, I think T2C means like you literally will never have to do 5L corners. Which was pretty cool. There are cases where you have like 3 comms and then a 3 twist. I think you can always just LTCT into those though. But that's kind of hard. Yeah, I mean, to make rooms, maybe make is the wrong word, but I don't know what else to say. I just went through the game and wrote down what each part of each room would be. That's all. Since I'm making 72 rooms and they each have like 3 sub-locations, I need to write it down to keep track of all of it and then practice with it later.
8 seconds. 12 seconds.
How does it actually work mentally? I don't know what else I can say, dude. Like, have you not made rooms before? Like, have you not used Roman rooms before? I'm not sure what you're asking.
Eight seconds.
Like, do you cut a square in your imagination and say that this is one room, then find a tree in the corner and say anything beyond this 3 is room 2? No. Rooms don't need to be squares. Do you use 7 simul? No. I want to learn it eventually, but no. I literally just go like, the first room is this part of this first area. The second room is this part of this next area. Like, you just find like a distinct landmark, and then that's a location that you use.
Seconds. 12 seconds.
God. Just like your tree example? Not really, because you said you cut a square area in your imagination and say this is one room. I don't make it a square. It's just like a certain place with some distinguishing thing, and then just go location to location. Each one has like a distinguishing feature to it. That's all. It's not like a square. The areas have to be next to one another, or at least in proximal order? No. They usually are, but if you had to like have all of your memory palace be one like path, that would be heavily limiting. I'll do that for like maybe 4 rooms at a time, and then usually make jumps. Would you recommend making rooms for 2 cube attempts? Why not? I don't know why not. I started using rooms when I was doing 4 cubes because that's when I like struggled to memorize all of that, but you could do it whenever.
8 seconds. 12 seconds.
Dang it, dude. I tried to cancel and I fucked up. I'll give a random example to see if this helps. So, this morning I just spent like hours. I restarted Mario Odyssey and just started like going through in the order of the story, just so it's like easier to remember, and started making rooms. So. And I just like write it in a whole document. I can show you what it looks like. I've done this on stream before, by the way, so it's not like this is some like secret shit that I do. One sec. Why is this not? Okay. So. This is my Odyssey rooms. Let's go to, we're flying to the Wooded Kingdom right now. So, the first rooms, I guess I called it dancing robots because in the story when you first arrive here they're all like kind of freaking out and dancing. So that was the first part of the first room. I have like 3 parts for each room, and then the next one is that little shop right here. That's like the next thing in the first room. And then there's usually, or well, initially there's a sphinx right here that you have to like answer a question, then he moves and opens this door. So then there's a sphinx. And then the next room is this little tunnel. I just like this thing with the purple coins on top. And then this field, there's usually tanks in here when you're playing the game through the first time. And then this telescope is the 3rd thing of the second room in the Wooded Kingdom, etc., etc. That's about it. And then I go to the pond. I just kind of go through in an order that seems to make sense, but once I like exhaust a world, I move on. So I did 24 rooms in Wooded Kingdom. The next thing is the Lake Kingdom. I haven't started that one yet, but I'll do 12 rooms in the Lake Kingdom to get 72, and then given that oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Dude, I'm so dumb. Okay. I for some reason thought I was like showing both things, but this is kind of blown out anyways. It's like hard to see. But so second room was just like this location, the tunnel with the coins on top, not there anymore, but then It's like this little dirt field. There's like a bunch of tanks there in the beginning when you get there. And then this like telescope over here is the third thing of the second room. And then I go to the pond for the third room. And then that pipe, and then like inside the pipe area. It doesn't need to be like super structured. I just like go through everything. Yeah. Two for edges, one for corners. But also just for like any other event, it's nice to have like 3 places per thing. How long would it take for you to be really confident with a new palace? It took me a long time to feel as confident with the Mario memory palaces as I do with my original 2 memory palaces. I'm not exactly sure why that is, because those were like my first ever video game palaces, so maybe it's something to do with that, but also like it also could just be that I'd done hundreds of attempts with the old ones and maybe I need that many attempts to feel like I was confident with the new ones, but I don't know if that's really it. I also started using those when I started doing full floating, so it could be just that like I wasn't used to full floating yet, and it also took me a while to get used to that. I was like doing a bunch of new stuff all at the same time.
Eight seconds. 12 seconds. Seconds.
Mine are not so close to one another as I get confused easily. That's funny, because I feel like I've always thought that my memory palace locations are like a lot more spread out than most people. Like, I'm pretty sure Ro, his memory palace locations are like much more close packed than mine. I just remember him saying that he has like, I think he has like over 20 rooms just like in his house, and I have like 4 rooms in my house. Doing more than that just feels like there's not enough distinct things to use. And I remember Neil Gore telling me that he does a similar thing. He has like 30 rooms just in his house. And he uses like very tiny things like the windowsill and then the computer and then the TV, you know, like I would just be like the desk. Like the whole desk area. Do you ever take out rooms that are not working well for you? I'd take out a room in one and it's taking a while to get used to it again. I've not done that, no. There are a couple problematic rooms I have where just like one location in one of my memory palaces feels really similar to another location in another memory palace. Like I have like a friend's house that I use in my second memory palace that feels, the house, just like the structure of it and the feeling of it feels almost exactly like my mom's house, like that she currently lives in, which I use in my first memory palace. And so there's like a part of that, of like one room of each of those palaces that feel almost exactly the same. So if I like just used one of those palaces, I might like get confused.
8 seconds. 12 seconds.
cube cope. When you say room, do you mean set of 3 locations for 1 cube? Yes. It's kind of a misnomer, but it's also just like what everyone uses for describing that. What's up, Stash?
Eight seconds.
Cool. Alright, I'm just gonna hand scramble. How's my Easter / 420? I've done nothing. S down? What does that mean? Just thought of that because of this conversation. Wait, what? Thought of what?
Seconds. 12 seconds.
Oh my gosh, what? What am I doing? Oh. I got so confused trying to like optimally trace corners. I don't know why. I had two swaps, and for some reason my brain just like couldn't handle it. I like had no parity, but I was treating it like I had parity for no reason.
8 seconds.
Dude, my turning is annoying me. I'm looking forward to doing multi-blind. I think I mechanical twisted that. Wait, not that one. Oh, it was this one. Wait. I just realized I scrambled my orientation, and the draw scramble is not in my orientation. How would that work? Should be that. Yeah.
Eight seconds. 12 seconds.
Had a cool cancel on that one. Had first two UR comms that I did were here, so UR FLDL and then UR ULRF, and the setup for the first case is wide U2, and the setup for the second case is U2, so you just do E2. Big brain. Are your images 3D moving objects that interact, or more like inanimate miniature objects? I don't visualize my images, so that does not apply.
8 seconds. 12 seconds.
This is a DNF. I had a really weird lockup and I think lost orientation. Okay, I'm just gonna do 5 more.
Seconds.
What? Huh. I think I like recalled a audio pair wrong. I also did 2 extra LTCTs on that. My answer was that I don't visualize my images, so it just doesn't apply. I can't answer your question. What? Did I turned on 4 pads somehow? That was such a nice scramble, dude. Fuck me. That's so annoying. How do I turn off 4 pad? I don't even remember. Hold 5 seconds. Did I do that? When did I hold that for 5 seconds? I don't believe that. That's so weird. I wonder if that was like a weird glitch.
Eight seconds. 12 seconds.
How does that work? How do you associate them to your rooms? I think about the stories while I think about the rooms. It's as simple as that. If the timer goes out, like removing the battery or something, it turns back on in 4-pad mode. Huh. I wonder if I like jolted it somehow.
Seconds. 12 seconds.
Dang it. +2. I don't know, I'm so bad at this right now.
Seconds. 12 seconds.
orange.
Seconds.
I totally thought I would mistake that. No problem, GeoCuber. Alright. I'm going to get a better 13 out of 13 today. I've declared it. Got a 855 yesterday, which is PB, and I probably world best, but it's extremely improvable. Looks like you barely held it down for long enough for it to switch. Weird. I just like didn't even think about it while I was doing it, I guess. I was like thinking at the same time as holding it down. I had like a little brain glitch. That's funny. Okay. Tusobrino. What would you like to see from a 13 cube attempt? Decent memo would be like around 4 minutes. That'd be good. That'd be good memo. So like the memo per cube on my 9 cube PB is around 17, I think. Let's just say like, oh my gosh. Let's just say like, so a good 9 cube memo is like 235-ish. 230 is like pretty good. Sub 230 is really good. Say like 235. Let's just say like 240 because sizing up is hard. So 240, let's say like minus 8, 232. just to account for like the 2-pass stuff versus 3 blind. So 232 is 152 per cube, is 8, 16, 88. So let's call it 17 times 12, 204. So that's 324. Dude, that's crazy. 324. So like, we're saying like 330 memo on 13 is doable. Am I really safetying that hard when I do this? I feel like, yeah, four should be super doable. 4 minutes is super doable, and I've done that. I've just never had good recall when I do it. But and then exec would be like 315 would be decent exec. So sub 730 would be a good result. That'd be good. So 855, yeah, is really bad. Sub 8 should be like pretty free. It's just hard to get 13 out of 13 when 2 passing. So been doing a lot of 14s and 13s, but then I do 17s or 16s. Am I close to being under 15? I would just, like, you know, time 100 solves and then look at your average of 100. Can I pass you the scramble of your record? It's very lucky. Sure. I assume you'd like to see the same per cube memo and exec time for this. I mean, exec is translatable, but the memo time, like, I don't think I can. Like, I would like to be able to do the same time per cube memoing 13 cubes 2 passed as I do for 9 cubes, but I just don't know how realistic it is to expect that. So I would accept like 18 memo per cube maybe, so like 345 memo, but still like 345 memo is like so much faster than the attempts I've been doing. What's up, Serena? Yeah, she's chilling behind me. Sleepy kitty. Where's she? She's tuckered out from a long day of sleeping. The video looks crisper and more defined. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do this attempt. I wonder if I can just like easily knock out a 13 out of 13 2-pass today, like I did yesterday. Or if it'll just be like 4 out of 13s like it tends to be. We'll see. I'm drinking honey ginger tea. Alright, let's look at this scramble. Way, but it was pretty good. I wonder if you did the same solution for rough and U-perm. Drinking a lot of tea in Texas. Nice. Okay. If 12 packs have slightly slower per cube memo, it still fits in well somehow to improving full hour multi attempts. I don't think it translates just like that. Doing like 2 pass 13 cube attempts versus like a big multi. I would probably memo a little faster in a big multi, like my first 2 passes, because I'm not like trying to perfectly remember it. You know, when I'm doing these 2 pass 13s, I'm trying to get 13 out of 13 and like perfectly remember everything after just those 2 passes, where that's like not the case on a big attempt. Okay, I'm gonna do this. these, man. That was bad. I felt unfocused on that. You just feel the colors, true. If you listen carefully while you're doing algs, you could tell where the pieces are. Yeah, memo was difficult for some reason. 6 out of 13. Cringe. Yeah. Didn't even get 3 blind. SMH. Alright. Next one will be better. Oh, that. Rip. Okay. Rip. We go again. Cube 10 exec was cool. Oh. Yeah, that one was these were hard scrambles. I'm gonna cope a little bit. It was this 2 flip and then 3 comms from UB and then this 2E. That one, which I kind of wish I had a better alg for. And then it was just 4 corner algs. I feel like there was some cooler solutions in there. I think those were just bad scrambles. I had my buffer solved in a lot of them. Sometimes I wonder if it's not a good strat to always float if your buffer is solved or pseudo-solved. Because that means your buffer is going to be solved more often than normal. Like you're effectively going to have a solved buffer more often than normal. Like theoretically, it should be good. Sometimes I'm unconvinced. But I guess, yeah, having your buffer solved, if you're doing full floating, it's kind of a good thing. Because that's like a solved piece rather than you have to cycle break. James has F prime, R prime, F, R, U prime. What a weird alg, oh my god. How do you... That's so awkward. It's probably better than my alg, but it's just so weird. That's some Cube Explorer shit for sure. It's kind of cool how it's like kind of got a sledge and a sexy move in it. But it's like hard finger tricks. This is a very mega pilled alg. James would come up with that. I might try to switch. Kind of like doing the first two F moves with index and last two with thumb. I'm so horrible at that. I never do that. I feel like I have to like hold the middle or the S layer. I'm just like so bad at that, dude. I feel like my fingers are too big. It's like feels so awkward. Like too long or something. What am I doing? There, that's enough. Okay, we go again. Okay. Dang it. Huh. Cringe. Dude, I'm struggling. I don't know why my memo is so freaking slow, dude. I feel like I need to rush more or something. It's like I might just be like going too slow on the first pass, and then it makes the second pass harder. It's like the snowball. 6 again. Wait, 7. Cringe. Why is this so hard? That was an exact mistake. Yeah, I definitely remember that one. Oh, also, I used the wrong rooms on that, so I had like a weird order relative to the packs, which was super distracting, so that was close. Just 2 corners. I basically like started by skipping 4 rooms by accident. So now, like, my order of things I'm using is all messed up. Maybe I'll just move to different palace. Well, no, I'll just do later rooms. It's always like, I want the cubes in each pack to like correspond to the same room every time. Still on. Music is over. Okay. I think I'm just gonna try to rush this attempt significantly more, like the first passes. I might go like a little slower on, like a little, I mean, not slower than before, but like, just like slow on the first few, because those like need to have a longer time between first and second pass. But I'll rush for the most part. I just need to like focus more, I think, is the main thing. I feel pretty unfocused. No dupes. Okay. What should I be using? I forget. so annoying, dude. Wait. Yeah. That's so stupid. My god. One corner pair on 3 blind. Classic. Clockman, please only type English or I'll ban you. It's so weird to me. Like, why memo is so slow? I don't understand it. Maybe that's just like my brain just naturally accounting for 2 passing a higher number, I guess. But I should be able to do 2 pass in like 345. Like, no doubt about that. It's just a matter of like remembering it. Damn, that would have been PB by 20 seconds. That's annoying. I think that attempt, I literally just focused more and it worked. So, I'm gonna try really locking in, focusing really hard, and maybe just going faster and seeing if that makes the review easier and more effective. Thanks, Jason. PB by 20 seconds with that 3 blind cube, even better than? Not sure what you mean. It would be PB by 20 seconds if I didn't DNF the 3 blind cube. The 3 blind cube is really slow. Oh yeah, I guess I paused. I mean, how much should I pause? Did I really pause that much? I definitely had like a lot of pausing elsewhere. I really should be able to do sub 8. It's like, it should not be this hard, but I haven't done too many attempts, so maybe it'll happen. A lot? Huh. Let's see, I'm curious now. Yeah, it was like 10-second pause. That's pretty big pause, but yeah. So yeah, it was probably like 30 to 35 3 blind. All right. I feel good about this one. I think this will go better. Dude! Fuck yeah! Dude, that is so much better, please. Oh my god. What? Dude, that memo wasn't even good. That was just like insane exec. Wow. Whoo! Okay. Dude, fuck yeah. That's so much better. PB by a minute and 10 seconds. Holy shit. Let's go. Is this the 12-pack era? Is it here? Dude, that memo was not even good. Dude, the splits are so silly, my god. What did you learn? It's better to focus than to not focus? I don't know. I think sometimes I just like don't focus as hard as I like need to without like realizing it or something. I don't know. And I have to like think about doing certain things, like specifically for just two passing. This is like really important that I like make sure on the on both passes to think about the room while I'm thinking about the memo, which is like it's easy to forget to do that when you're trying to like trace fast and make good stories, but in order for this to work out well, I have to like do all of the things right, and it's hard to just do all of that like for that long. I don't know. With big attempts, I like don't really need to do all of that shit so consistently because the extra passes like are kind of a buffer for that, you know. All of these things are probably why I just find that it tends to be helpful to do small attempts. Dude, I'm hyped. That was good. Can you imagine? Dude, I've had like 40 or like pretty much like 4 flat memo before. So this could be like, yeah, 715. Sub 715. Even sub 7 is doable, but that would be really, really hard. Hell yeah. That was good. I'm hyped. I'm gonna move on now. Woo! 3 blind time. 7:45, dude. I'm happy about that. Okay. Do I ever do long-term practice, like memo 24 cubes or whatever, then do some 3 blind for 20 minutes? No, because, I mean, like, might as well just do a whole attempt instead of having to commit to a whole attempt. I mean, yeah, I would just do a whole attempt at that point. Like, why not, you know? I don't really see, like, the reason not to. forget about the big blind arc. Yeah. I feel like, so, I mean, I'll try to stay practiced, I guess. At least with 4 blind, 5 blind, but I have actually a lot of multi-comps coming up next month. Which is something I don't want to let myself slack on, because I have not had a lot of multi like this year, and yeah, I don't want to waste it. That was 10 to 9 with the alt swap. WCA big blind. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I'll do like some of it. Maybe I'll do some today. I haven't done 5 blind since frickin' the cursed comp where I got double PRs and then WRC took it away. I really enjoy having high accuracy in blind events. It's like one of my favorite feelings. Twist. Rip. was frustrating. That was 9 algs, could have been 8. I missed a float, and then I freaking messed up an alg. And I knew it too. I think I'll go to 1,000 solves and maybe do some 5 blind. That was going to be a 12 alg solution because I missed an edge float and corners were unfloatable 5. And I just knew I made an exact mistake, so. When you were saying you find it interesting that I found wings easier and more intuitive, I think it's for 2 reasons. Which to use. AUF type aspect throws you off. Ending with the U layer correct just seems like that's like also that's a thing you have to do with any kind of 3 style, so I'm not sure I understand how that would make it harder. Like maybe there's more U setups, but like you could say that about any kind of setup move for any type of 3 style. Keep track of how to insert so that all 3 pieces line up. Not exactly sure I understand that part. I love when I'm like just trying to like do a turn and my freaking stupid fat finger is just like in the way for like 3 attempts of the turn. I feel like that's the cause of so many of my lockups, is just like my stupid freaking fingers getting in the way. I feel like because I was thinking about that, it kept happening more on that solve. That was 11 to 9, and I visual memoed like I think more than half of edges. Oh. Confusing corners. I had this 3 twist and like unoriented hit my buffer on the first piece, but then the UBL float was a parity parity oriented, so like that to that oriented piece. So the best way to do this is like have a UFUL swap or UFUR swap parity alg for UBL, and then also do LTC. LTCT. And that makes it 4. But it took me forever to realize that. So it would be, that's the LTCT, parity plus, or com plus LTCT, and then that. Done like a wrong insertion there. I'm probably trying to figure out why the piece type is harder by telling myself a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might just be, yeah, like some weird brain thing that can't be explained. I found corners to be like much easier to learn freestyle on than edges. I think just like the edge insertions and just like figuring out the edge and corner or the edge insertions and interchanges was confusing to me. And corners was like the interchange is always like one move, like the plate and plate prime thing, and having edge insertions a lot of the time be like a slice move was confusing because it like, or not insertions, interchanges being a slice move was confusing. But yeah, I just found edges like way more confusing, but I feel like everybody else is the opposite. I visual memoed something, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't give me the right buffer orientation. And then turns out my visual memo is just wrong. Like, I was like 99% sure that the white part of this edge was here, not there. Weird. I feel like sometimes my hands feel sticky, and it makes that issue that I described where like my fingers get in the way of turns. It makes that happen more. And my hands feel like that right now. It's really annoying. Dude, I thought I missed a turn, and I did, and I backtracked in a parity alg and fixed it. This cube right now. Maybe this one's better. Inversed the float and had to do it again. AO12 pace, possibly? Oh, I need 5. That's not very good solves. Like one of those messed up comms, edge comms, that instead of doing the comm that I was supposed to do, the way that I messed it up, like did a 5-star out. Pretty sure. That was probably faster exec than memo. I mistraced corners and it was 10 to 9. That's funny. get the AO12 before 1000. Probably need to remind myself to focus. Dude, it's so annoying. Nice, dude. Very cool. Probably misscrambled that. Dude, what? I mistraced a corner. Really? I am unlocked in right now. I need to relock in. Happening, dude? What is my turning right now? Locking up on every alg. Struggle session right now. If I just like remind myself to turn a little more calmly and like carefully, it almost always works. Such a big pause after putting the blindfold on. Really? I hard guessed on that. just had to like completely retrace. What? Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh, I broke into the flip round. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I hit the same side twice. Derp. Did a 2E. Floated into a full flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that was 11.5 to 9. Pretty cool. Coping again. I'm really slow right now. I don't really get why. I feel like it's just trying too hard. I'm getting so frustrated, dude. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna get 11-6 solves in a row to get the AO12 right before 1,000, or right at 1,000. with an alt swap. That was unfloatable 5L corners, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 to 5, so that's 12 to 10. Seven more. Crazy solve. Oh my gosh. I could have executed it a lot better. That was like pausey, but that was confusing. The scramble was crazy. So 2 swap, and then parity float from UBL. So there's like several different ways you can do corners, but seeing that UR is solved when I go to edges, and that's flipped in place, I'm like, alright, this is probably gonna be best if I do UL-UB swap and do the UBL parity float. So it's here to here to here, and that's flipped, so that means I break into this and do that, and then there to there to there to there to there to there to there. So 2 UF comms, 3 UB comms, and then it also just turns out that corners are like super nice. So that's the UF cycle. That's the UB cycle, and then I did the UBL cycle, that and that, and then this to that, and then that to that is like insane cancel, super good cases. It's like basically one alg. Dude, why can't I execute easy shit? That's basically like a 2C alg. So nice. Okay, 5 more. Also, I think the music turned off. Yeah. That should have been better. I've kind of paused a bit. That was 9 to 8. Less frustrating. Yeah, finally like warming up on 3 blind, I guess. Scramble, oh my god. was 6 to 5 for corners, and then 7. Dude, that was 13 to 10 Alex. Sheesh. Kind of fucking with my AO12, but whatever. More good streak. So annoying, dude. Might have been able to float corners, but I didn't track my corner buffer orientation. It was a hard case. And then I did an extra edge column because I said the wrong letter during memo and I realized it didn't make sense. So I guessed correctly. It's so annoying. This AO12 is going to suck. Go till the streak ends. That was 10 to, or 11, 12 to 10. My brain is getting tired. Streak. That was good. Is a good song. 1979. Is that like a Blink-182 song or something? Get so confused by the AUF on that one LTCT. Smashing Pumpkins? Oh, I know that song. go over. I think I'll do the weekly comp 5 blind, speed solving weekly comp, and then it would be nice to keep my big blind chops in order. Real quick 3 solves, and then I need to feed myself and my cats. Currently average high 3 for 3 blind and want to achieve sub 2 before the end of May. Do you have any tips for quick improvement? Aside from, well, quick improvement, I was gonna say learn 3 style, but that would probably be very quick to learn. Just do solves every day. Maybe do like corners only solves, edges only solves if you want to like streamline the tracing practice. Just set little goals for yourself so you stay motivated and practice a lot. Is there anything else to learn in 4 blind after 3 style? I know Stanley's working on floating wings, but I don't know what else to do after learning full 3 style. Well, floating centers is probably the first thing you should do after 3 style. I haven't done that yet, just for the record. But I want to do that eventually. It's just like kind of low on my list of priorities. I have a lot of stuff I want to learn for multi-blind that takes higher precedence for me. Okay, here we go. Dude. That was ridiculous. That was like an absurd scramble, and I just like mistraced multiple times and completely choked. That scramble was ridiculous. I think that was 16 Alex centers, 12 wings, 8 to 7, 3 blind, could be 6. That's an absurd scramble. I feel like I must have mistraced, or I must have misscrambled that. That's so annoying to get a scramble like that after not doing big blind for like, what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? I need to check this. Yeah, it was 3 out corners that can be 2 with LTCT, and that's what I did. Midges, if I floated midges, which I don't, it would be 4 out midges. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Wings were 12 with like a couple cycle breaks. There's a lot of solved pieces, but a lot of cycle breaks. And then yeah, pretty sure I might have recalled X centers from. Let's see. All right, yeah, probably. Oh, I just skipped one. Okay, oh, it's not 16 Alex centers. No, it's 18. Yeah, 18 Alex centers. That's a lot less crazy, but still really crazy out count. That's 19 plus 12 plus, without floating, it is 8. So 39, and it could be 37. That's not as crazy as I thought it was. For some reason, centers felt a lot crazier than they actually were. Alright, I'm actually locking in this time. on, dude. That's annoying. 3+. Competing in 4 blind and 5 blind for the first time in a few weeks. 70-minute cutoff. I have some questions. Do I need to bring multiple cubes for scrambles? Can I do all my 4 blind attempts and switch to 5 blind? You can do whatever you want, usually. Like, whatever order of all of the solves that you want. I've seen people, like, do a 4 blind, or, like, maybe, like, do a 5 blind, and then do their 3 4 blinds, and then if they have time, do another 5 blind, or, like, something like that. Pretty sure that's always the case, but you might want to check with your organizers or delegate and ask if you're allowed to do that beforehand. Okay, let's please get a success. DNFing everything by such a small amount is really annoying. shit scramble. So I'll take it, I guess. We take not triple DNFing. If I just use one cube, are they usually pretty quick to re-scramble in your experience? Usually, but I don't know, it can totally vary. I feel like the thing that tends to be a problem in comps like that is there like not being enough stations or something, so like you have to wait for somebody else, because like a bunch of people might be doing like 30 plus minute 5-blind attempts, and so like it takes forever for a station to be open, so that can be an issue. But I don't know, it's kind of like a resources / organizer problem. Anyways, I'm gonna raid somebody. Oh, I just realized that Parmesan subscribed and I never saw it. Sorry about that. Thanks for the Prime sub. I wish those freaking messages would show up in the restream chat, dude. That's so annoying. Sub messages just don't show up. Silly. You solve every cube? Nice. Me too. Nobody cubing, classic. Alright, I'm just gonna raid player 5. Okie dokie. Thanks for watching. Be back tomorrow, probably.